Breaking news at noon, the defense is arrested in the murder trial of a man who says his twin brother was the actual killer. Boarded up windows on several businesses serve as reminders of the chaos that ensued. It's unbelievable to see this. The entire street behind me piled high with wood and debris. Hundreds of protesters continued on, stopping here at Center and Negley. Now, the Parkway West outbound is actually closed between the Banksville Road on-ramp and the Parkway Center exits. In a few places near Zelia and Opal businesses, you'll notice that tables and chairs have popped up to encourage folks to come out and support the borough's small businesses. Back now to that breaking news. Police spent hours overnight on the north side collecting evidence after an officer was shot during a traffic stop. We have Team 11 coverage this morning on this big story. Channel 11's Jillian Hartman is tracking the officer's condition, but we start with Mike Holden. So shopping will certainly be different here on Butler Street and elsewhere, but still, this is a day that customers and business owners have really been waiting for, really looking forward to. Finally, stores that have closed for months, they can reopen. I want you to take a look at this business here. You can see a sign that's saying, "Welcome back to customers." This is such a loss for the community that Matthew Smelzer dedicated his life to serving, not to mention a tragedy for his fellow first responders. Now, you can see outside of their building here, they have a flag at half staff, and then at the base, there's a memorial for him with candles, flowers, his photograph, and his uniform. Former Verona police officer Anthony Ogline is heading to trial on allegations of sexual misconduct with a teenage boy. This morning, a judge here held all charges against him. Do you maintain he told you that he was 18?
I maintain
What about
that,
picking him up at school, though? You picked him up at school. I'm Liz Kilmer on the breaking news desk, monitoring a busy night for police. Across 2 counties, there are several violent incidents we're following. All right, so you've been watching a live briefing, live update from several county officials, county health officials on the coronavirus. I think a big takeaway is there are still no confirmed cases here in Pennsylvania, but officials said as time goes on, as testing continues, they do expect that to change. So how does it work? Well, the sun's rays, they come down, they hit these panels, energy travels through these wires to somewhat of a centralized hub. It's then converted and can power the building. Take a look at the Veterans Bridge here. You can see that there is still some snow and then a sheen on the road, so it really could be icy. It's your bridges, your overpasses, your side streets that you really want to be cautious of. Yeah, so crews need to determine whether or not it will be safe for folks to return. It's kind of dark out here. I do have a flashlight to show you what we're seeing here. So there is caution tape.
We just want to pray this prayer of peace over this protest on today.
A prayer answered on the streets of Coraopolis Saturday morning as people of all ages, races, and creeds came together on Fifth Avenue. Community members, leaders, even a U.S. congressman.
The most un-American thing we could ever do is give up the type of actions that you are taking right now.
The demonstration, one of dozens across the region and hundreds across the nation, calling for justice and equality following the death of George Floyd. Some of those events taking a violent turn. But here Saturday, organizer Deja Wegley wasn't worried.
I feel blessed. I know it's going to be a peaceful protest. I believe in my town, and I just really feel like it's going to be a great day.
Many held signs with messages like "Silence is violence" and "Black Lives Matter."
I just want my 2 sons to know that their mother is not going to give up, and she's going to keep pushing and pushing and make sure there's equality for them.
After we heard from speakers, roughly 200, maybe 300 people walked up and down Fifth Avenue holding signs, chanting, "No justice, no peace." Officers closed the road to allow protesters to move up and down the street before the crowd stopped again to hear more powerful voices.
Whose life matters?
And finally, a moment of silence, tears flowing as a speaker read aloud some of Floyd's last words.
Mama! Mama!
In Coraopolis, I'm Liz Kilmer, Channel 11 News. The husband and wife taken to the hospital should be okay. They're dealing with some smoke inhalation after their apartment caught fire this morning. Theirs and 3 others are totally destroyed here, and firefighters spent hours battling the flames. Now, we're here in the heart of downtown Washington. Many firefighters still on scene. I want to show you the front of the building here. On the first story, there was a longtime photography business, Rusho's Studio, also a total loss. As flames and heavy smoke shot through the sky, an 87-year-old photographer sat in his car watching as his longtime business burned in downtown Washington.
It's just devastating. Like I said, he got the call this morning that it was on fire, and he drove up here.
Sandy Ruschel-Bertosh is that man's daughter, speaking on his behalf and only to Channel 11 as firefighters took over North Main Street, dousing Ruschel's studio and the 4 apartments above it.
People were coming out of there with no clothes on except underwear. We gave them blankets if we had them and jackets. Made coffee. They was too upset. Everything they own is in that building.
Thankfully, all 7 residents made it out, but officials say a husband and wife went to the hospital for smoke inhalation. Firefighters weren't hurt, but spent hours in frigid temperatures working to get things under control.
Once we knew everyone was out, we backed the guys out and did a defensive attack for everybody's safety.
Photos from the studio and other belongings swept down the road, and a pond formed in the heart of downtown.
Everybody in this community over the last 60, almost 70 years, they have Ruschel Studio pictures in their home that have wonderful memories. So this is a very sad day for my mom and my dad and the Ruschel family.
And I spoke with the family minutes ago again, and we will have an interview with the owner for you tonight at 5. Now, meantime, firefighters, they're going on 5 hours out here now. A lot of cleanup that they're faced with. Now, they did keep fire from spreading to the next door business. That's a law firm, but I am told that it does have significant water damage. Meantime, a state police fire marshal will be working to determine how this fire started. The chief tells me he believes that it started in the basement of the studio, but again, all of that's under investigation. We'll have the very latest for you tonight at 5. Right now, this is what we're seeing on city streets, garbage bags piling up on sidewalks with workers saying that they are not being protected from catching the coronavirus, and until something changes, they aren't doing their jobs.
We want the mayor!
Garbage collectors in the city of Pittsburgh calling on leaders to step up.
When the mayor was on the news about 2 weeks ago, he said no matter what, your trash will be picked up. That was a smack in our face.
Sheldon White and his co-workers feel like they're on the front lines as the coronavirus continues to spread.
Half the people don't tie their bags, so when the stuff spill out, then they want to tell you to pick it up. There's Kleenexes that people blow their nose and cough in.
We're playing Russian roulette with every garbage bag that we're grabbing.
They say they're entitled to hazard pay and better protection. Uniting at the Strip District headquarters Wednesday morning, some in the crowd wore masks, but they claim the city didn't provide them.
They're saying, oh, well, there's no mask. We need masks. These gloves, I bought it myself. They don't give us these. We get gloves, what, maybe twice a year?
Many of the workers refuse to leave for pickup, going face-to-face with managers. The union rep there, too. Some moments tense before the crew was sent home with pay, but no resolution. Trash bags, in the meantime, left to pile up on city sidewalks. And minutes ago, we received a statement from the mayor's office reading in part, the city has been following Centers for Disease Control guidance, including having environmental services buildings and trucks cleaned regularly. The statement also claiming that workers are being provided with protective gear and that the mayor's office and the union are working together to, quote, clear up any misunderstandings and that normal service should continue as normal tomorrow. Now, we also have an interview set up with the mayor later this afternoon. We're going to ask him more about this. So you can look for the very latest tonight at 5. An alarming sight in Homestead. A school bus crashed into 2 vehicles. Its windshield smashed and students packed on board.
I got in my car and came up here instantly. And I'm not going to leave until I figure out what's going on.
Janae Austin Smith was among the parents who rushed to West 8th Avenue after getting calls from their kids, students who were headed to Propel Homestead.
My youngest daughter said she hit her head pretty hard off the bus window.
One by one, the roughly 20 kids on board were escorted off and directed to ambulances where they were evaluated. A Propel spokeswoman said some complained of bumps and bruises, but none had to go to the hospital. Some of the students who were medically cleared went home with their parents here at the scene, but others were boarded onto a different vehicle and taken to the school.
I don't even think I want them to go back to school because this is like a freak accident. and they could be like riled up or scared or whatever the case might be.
Channel 11 was there capturing damage to a white sedan and work truck. Off camera, both of those drivers told us that they were at a dead stop, waiting in the turn lane to the Homestead Grays Bridge when the school bus came up and they were hit.
I'm kind of angry.
The road was closed for a couple of hours before the vehicles were towed away. Police continue to investigate, determining whether the school bus driver should be charged. Parents like Janae, who work and rely on the school bus, say the whole situation is unsettling.
It just scares me. Like, I don't really trust like transportation at all, and it just don't make it no better.
In Homestead, I'm Liz Kilmer, Channel 11 News. Zipping up ramps and gliding down sidewalks.
At first, people were kind of freaked by them.
But now, staff and students have grown used to walking among these flashing little robots as they roam Pitt's campus.
I look outside my dorm, I'm like, oh my God, they're everywhere now.
Launched by Starship Technologies, the bots are the latest innovation in food delivery. For months, the tech was tested at Pitt, and as of this week, it's officially up and running, with 30 bots in action. With a free-to-download app, users can order from a handful of campus eateries and have the snacks and drinks brought straight to them.
People from other schools were like, what is going on here? And it was more funny than but now it seems like useful.
A lot of the students that we talked with said that they haven't actually tried it, so we decided to give it a test. I downloaded the app and ordered a coffee. I was given an 18-minute ETA and charged a $2 delivery fee. Eventually, I got notifications that my robot delivery was on the way, headed to the pickup point.
Good morning. Here's your delivery.
It was a bit spilled and a little late, but my coffee made it. And from there, I sent the robot back on its way to pick up its next order in this new era.
The future it is.
In Oakland, I'm Liz Kilmer, Channel 11 News.